Hey there, badass. How about a break from those endless emails, client calls, and screen time? Yep, shut down that laptop, set your notifications on silent, and come join us at the Ladies Kickin' Ass networking and community event, Sip, Sass, and Kickin' Ass. It's November 16th, which is a Thursday, from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Forum Lounge in Chandler, Arizona. Come mingle face to face with a bunch of amazing boss babes in service based businesses from around the valley. You can make genuine connections over cocktails. Yes, please sign me up. All the information for this fun event is in the show notes, along with a link for you to grab your free, yeah, I said free, ticket to come to this event. We cannot wait to see your beautiful faces at the event. Welcome to the Ladies Kickin' Ass podcast, where we raise our voices and honor the badass achievements of women in the service industry. Get ready for empowering conversations, inspiring stories, and a whole lot of ass-kicking energy. Join us as we redefine what it means to be bold, fearless, and unapologetically YOU, babe. This is your platform, your community, and your source of inspiration. So buckle up, get ready to rock and roll, and let's show this world just how much we can accomplish. Welcome to the Ladies Kickin' Ass podcast. Welcome to an incredible new episode of Ladies Kickin' Ass. I always say I'm so very excited too, but I can't even tell you. I was just upstairs with my daughter and she's like, "You look giddy." I'm like, "I am. I can't believe that this person is going to be on my podcast," because I adore her. If you are just listening to this, please go to YouTube and watch this. Because the second that you lay eyes on this woman, your entire day will change. She is a ray of sunshine. And I get emotional about that because I need that so much in my life. So I'm so blessed to say that Lia Valencia Key is with us here today as our guest on Ladies Kickin' Ass. And this woman has got one hell of a story: resiliency, positivity, what making one decision in your life can do, and it can set you free from any situation that you find yourself in. And so I know you will get so much inspiration out of today. Please be sure to share this with so many people. I know it's just going to touch a lot of hearts today. So Lia, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Yay! I'm overjoyed to be here. Thank you. Thank you for saying my light, and thank you everyone that listens, that we're connecting hearts together.
Yes. Oh, I know this is going to be a great conversation. So why don't you do me a favor for the listeners that have no idea your greatness and what you're all about? Give us your backstory of, one, who is Lia at her core? How did you become to be this big ray of sunshine that we all love and adore? And let's talk about what you do to bring joy to people with your jewelry line.
Yes. Oh, I love it. And I love sharing so that you can see yourself in parts of the journey, because we were just talking prior and like the journey's real and it's good to hear and see inspirational people. I always say, if you can see it, you can be it. So if you see people that are continuously going, then you know in the midst of whatever you're doing, you can keep going and there's greatness for you as well. So I'm Lia Valencia Key. My company I created is Valencia Key. Valencia means bravery and courage, and key is to unlock. And if you see me now, I'm always in yellow, and it's this whole light energy that I choose to embody and radiate. But I love talking like, where did the journey start? Because people may think like, oh, it's easy. Like, that's your natural thing.
An easy life. Look how happy she is.
Like, of course you could do it, but it's quite the opposite. I was born, I like to say, in darkness. I was born in the most impoverished neighborhood of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Trash filling the streets, drug transactions, violence on every corner. I was born to a single mother, and I have two other siblings. So a single woman, three children. I like to self-diagnose my mother. She passed super early, but I self-diagnosed her as being paralyzed by society stereotypes and this internal fear, because my grandmother was raised in poverty. So then my mother was raised in poverty. And that's what generational curses means. It keeps going and going. And there was a moment where our poverty, we lived in this one basement apartment, 4 people, cramped, small. And my mother broke her leg in a few places and couldn't even afford the 1-bedroom place that we were staying in this really rough neighborhood. And that sent us immediately to a woman's homeless shelter. So I'm about age 8, young, 3rd grade. My mother, 3 children. None of us was over the age, I believe, estimate 12, 13. So young children. We land in this homeless shelter. And if anyone has ever experienced a homeless shelter, I'm 43, so I could be dating homeless shelters. But the one we landed in was like a big gym room with cots. If anyone's familiar with a cot, it's these metal hard beds that fold out. One woman gets one cot. The whole entire family has to ball up on this entire cot. So you have 4 bodies cramming up on a cot with the little belongings you have. There's moaning, there's sorrow, there's just so much darkness surrounding us. And I share that clearly because that was the first seed of light that was planted. And that sounds really weird, but my mother, right in the middle of that trauma, I block out trauma a lot, but I remember my mother vividly looking down at us, her 3 children, and saying, your predicament doesn't determine your destiny. In the midst of all of that. And I think there's power in words. So I love sharing that because it's like, what are we speaking in our lives? Even if what's around us is true, what words are we speaking into ourselves? What words are we speaking into others? Because those words truly become power. Age 8, she said it to us. I heard it. It was planted in my mind and my heart, but I didn't understand it. We stayed in the homeless shelter. I lived my entire childhood to teenage life in either a homeless shelter or a housing project, which is all low income. And I start to become my environment. So I start to fail every grade in school. I always say if cafeteria had a grade, I was failing it. That's how bad I became. And it was because it was what my environment was doing, right? And I didn't know any better. But the second clear light that was turned on to my life was vividly. So I guess we fast forward 2 or 3 years, and I'm coming back from school to the homeless shelter door, and my mother's standing at the homeless shelter door. And I see a very serious face, and I'm like, uh-oh, what have I done now? I'm trying to calculate, like, what am I caught doing now, right? And I get to her at the front door, and she asked me this really random question. And it was out of nowhere. She said, Lia, do you want to be a follower or a leader? Confused. And I'm like perplexed. And she continues to say, because right now what you're doing is you're following. You're following everything you see in the environment around you. And guess what, Lia? You're going to and are becoming everything that you see. Or, Lia, you can choose to lead. You can choose to lead your life. You can listen to the inner whisper, the inner light, the true destiny inside of you, and you can lead it and choose it all the way to your destiny. And she left me with Lia, you choose. And that was so powerful for me.
Yes. Oh, when she said that to you in that moment, were you confused, or was it like a light bulb moment that went off for you?
The initial question, confused. I remember vividly, and I do, but the initial, I didn't understand what she was saying, but when she painted the picture so clearly, because I was becoming my environment, and even though I was young, I got to see that. And then she told me that I could lead inside and I could choose, and that was the immediate light bulb for me. It was permission, because I didn't know that there was a thing called choice. I truly thought that everything that you see, you do, and you are. And when she exposed me to this permission, like, hey, there's something inside of you greater than this. Lead yourself and choose that. Oh, immediately I was introduced to choice. I start choosing. The next day I went back to school and asked my teachers, how do I get better grades? How do I see outside of my environment? And people just, so I'd like to share, like, if you're listening, there's some power in being vulnerable and where you are, and then asking for guidance and where you want to be. Now, everyone's not going to be able to help you, but if you ask for what you want, there's some power in it, because there's earth angels that will show up and just, they'll take you a millimeter of the way. They won't take you the whole way. So I just start to learn and choose and learn. I was the first person to graduate college, first and only person in my family and environment to get a college degree and a master's degree to boot. And I literally start to take this power of listening to that inner light and choosing it every day beyond what I saw outside. Like, that's my thing. 44, I turned 44 in October. I still live by that key that unlocked light in my life.
Absolutely. Because it is amazing to me how many people are in a waiting place, and they're waiting for circumstances to get better, or they're waiting for this man to show up, or they're waiting for the raise, or they're waiting till their kids get older, or they're just freaking waiting for something all the time. And I'm like, you have a choice. Like, if you're just waiting for something to come to you all the time, you're always going to be waiting because you'll think of something else. To me, waiting is wasting. Like, you're wasting time. Make a choice. Like, it's, I have a great day and a great attitude, or a crappy day.
Yes, I agree. You can do it right now. Like, you can choose right now. And then the next thing is believing. Like, so you choose it, and then you've got to believe that inner choice so much. Like, it has to be more realistic than the tangible things around you. And that's really hard for us to see and do. It's not easy, because the world shows you, like, this is where you're supposed to be. How are you going to get out this environment? Your mother was that. Her grandmother was that. Like, how? But, when you know that that's not for you, you start to do some action. So I love to say that believing is truly an action word. Because when you believe something so much, you actually start doing, like you said, you're no longer waiting. You choose, and then you find an action. And the action doesn't have to be big. Like, my smallest action was going to school and saying, I don't want to fail anymore. How? That's an action.
Yes, absolutely. And even believing it, I think a lot of times too, when people are waiting, it's because they don't quite believe enough. And so they're looking for validation from everybody else. But I posted something earlier today on Instagram that I saw this quote, and it was like, you have to be, if you believe in this, you have to believe in it so much moving forward that you don't need anybody else's opinion on this whatsoever to decide whether you're going or not. Because even though they don't see your vision, you see it. They will see your vision if you continue to believe it and keep moving forward with things. And so many people are in this place where they're like, I have this great idea, but my husband doesn't support me, or my friends don't support me, or my mom thinks this is stupid. And you have to, like, just wash all of that off. Don't look for validation with these people that are in your immediate circle. Seek out the people that will support you in that. How much has people like that, seeking out that community of people that are doing really awesome things, been able to help you build what you have now?
Oh, it's everything I am. I am not a creation of me. I am a creation of we. Like, literally, you see me and you're like, oh, she's shining and she's this bright. It's a collective of other people's lights that have poured into me that allows me to shine so bright. Like, I always say, I could do a full podcast listing all the hearts and angels that have gotten me to sit at this podcast today. There are people that will lift you up. There are people that don't even have to believe in your dream, but will believe in you. One of my friends, Tupi, a dear friend, she said that. So I dream with her real big, crazy dreams. Like, I'm going to have a ranch in Arizona helping people, right? And she's like, okay, yes. And like, I always come up. And then she said, you know what the interest, I said, oh, I love how you always believe in my dreams. And it was so cool because she said, you know what? I don't have to believe in your dreams. I believe in you. And I was like, oh, that's good. There are some people that don't need to believe in your dreams, but because you are who you are and you walk the walk you say you're going to walk and you do the things you say you're going to do and you choose and you make an action to the choice, then they don't even care if you say you're going to the moon. They're like, if that girl says she's going to the moon, I don't know how she's going to do it. I know she will. And those are the people that you get around that just really believe in you. And I think the easiest way to find that community, podcasts are wonderful, because when you join a podcast or listen to a podcast, it's a certain mindset. But if you're looking for like this in-person way, like volunteering at things, events, or mission-based organizations that have similar mindsets as you, is so much power. There's power in giving of your time. Because when you give of your time, you receive, which is so wonderful, a circle of people that have the same kind of heart and same kind of energy.
Absolutely. Who are some of the people in your life that have impacted you the most to believe in yourself? Is there anybody or a certain somebody that has really was like, let me take you under my wing. I'm going to show you how amazing you can be, or come along with me, or something like that?
I got a list. So I'm going to actually rattle a couple people off and then I'll stay with two. But I got to go all the way back to my childhood. You know, my mother, to start, of course. Like, your predicament doesn't determine your destiny. My aunt would tell me, if you see my symbols in my jewelry, 3 is a number that you'll see quite frequently. Even in like the symbols, there's a 3 flow. My aunt was so much power. She would tell me to look people directly. Now I'm a homeless baby girl with no food to eat sometimes, living in a homeless shelter where everyone looks down on us. And so I'm walking in the state of shoulders down, head down, not looking in people's eye. And I remember being around her and she would say, you look people directly in their eye when you speak to them. You are equal to everyone. You speak loud and clear and you hold your shoulders back. She would tap my back every time I would get this slumped, kind of not good enough body image. She would tap my back and put your shoulders back. The body language is more powerful than anything someone else could say. And my grandmother was a praying woman. She would pray over my life and her ceiling was falling in. You know, I'm like, well, how are you praying? And this is happening. Okay, I didn't get it. But that was the grounding of like faith and prayer and connecting me with something and someone bigger than me so I could do the things that God had for me. My best friend, Patricia Lewis, I met her. I could tell her any dream and she like, all right, where we going? Now let's go. Like I don't even have to explain the topic. Her mother, Lieutenant of Philadelphia, she prays every day. And I saw her, she had a child at 15, my best friend. And at 15, she had Patricia. And she now became a commissioner of the city of Philadelphia, ran an entire police athletic lead, runs entire event center, like overcoming obstacles. And I got to watch her live out her life, overcoming these obstacles in such a poised way. My dear friend Grace, who I told her recently, I want to build a mail station. And she's like, we're going to go get wood and we'll build a mail station. Next thing you know, we're building a mail station together. Like, that's believing. Other people looked at me like, what are you talking about? Just so many names. But I'll list like hosts at QVC, dear friends, just so many people. But the last two that I'll close on, the story can keep going. Oh, I get Stephanie Humphrey. She's the one who connected me to QVC before she even knew me. Here's the power of being a light force in the world, a way of being. Her friend that I met told her about me and the energy that I gave. She never met me, and she gave me the contact number to QVC's stylist manager, their phone number, their email, and then she told me, without knowing me, that I could use her as a reference. That's believing in someone. You can believe in someone you've never known if you understand the energy. People will believe in you. I'm just listing all these different dynamics just so you can hear all the different ways you can connect with people that will believe in you. I'll land on the two that I love so dearly. Jamie Kern-Lima, founder of IT Cosmetics, creator of New York Times bestseller, Believe It book. Her new book, Worthy, is coming out. Oh, when we talk about believe,
I cannot wait.
Oh, me either. I am so excited. There's a book launch too.
I've already pre-ordered that. I'm ready for all of it. I have listened to Believe It 50 times. I saw Jamie at Brendan Burchard's event. She is one of my, that is like my, oh my gosh, like my husband all the time. He's like, who is the one? Who is the one for you? I'm like, Jamie Kern-Lima, all the time. I'm like, she is the sweetest, most generous, like badass, funny lady. Like her personality is just someone you want to hug and you want to have a beer with, you know?
And then you look at like this, like you're like, you hug her, you're inspired, you hang out like, and she is everything and more than what you feel and see. Pre-order that book, Worthy, because worthy is a powerful word. I can't wait till she starts to unlock that, because we talk about this thing about belief. But in order to truly believe and do an action, you've got to know that you're worthy enough to. And it's like those little actions of my aunt telling me to look people directly in my eye and I'm equal. She was building my worthiness. You get that? Her tapping my back and saying, put your shoulders back. You walk in with courage when you walk in a room. Worthiness. And now when you build worthiness, now I can start believing in action. Oh, get the book. I can't wait. And then Vicky Tsai, founder of Tatcha Skincare. Oh, these two women, they unlocked for me. I met them in QVC. I was a hair and makeup artist. And in QVC, you it's like dreamland, honestly. You get people that are making people's dreams come true. That's QVC host. Sandra Bennett, one of the love of my life. Leah Williams, one of the love of my life. Kirsten Lindquist, love of my life. Like Jane Tracy, love of my life. These hosts that have been at QVC for so long, I would get to style them, and I would see them take someone's dream and then share it to the world. Right. And then I would see dreamers like Jamie and Vicky pour all of their love and passion and belief into a tangible product. And when it came to a receiver's end, it was life-changing for them. They saw me in the salon and they said, come with me. And they took me under their wing. They traveled me around the world with them. They opened doors and sat me in rooms that I never knew existed. A young girl from homeless and housing projects. They sat me in PR meetings and marketing meetings and research development meetings. I get chills thinking about it. I didn't even know that that's how a business was structured. And they said, just come along with me, Lia. And they exposed me to what's possible in the world. And honestly, that exposure is power. That's why I say, if you can see it, you can be it. Because I start to see like, wow, if you really have love and intention and you do connect it with the power of a tangible product, we can infect and engage lives. Like we were talking about the necklace you wear and coming from Powerhouse Women and remembering that message and then connecting it to a piece. The power that will help you always trigger back into is magical. And that's what these hearts did to me. And that's when I knew it would be hard, but I knew I had to give light in the world through something wearable, symbolic, so that I could inspire people. Like my whole life of all the community has poured into me of light.
Well, I love, just people are buying products from those people. And like, people buy the Valencia Key jewelry from you because there's a feeling behind it. There's a meaning, just like every one of the little jewelry cards for Valencia Key jewelry comes with a little something positive on it. And it talks about what the piece is. And I have a necklace on today that is the key that has the little diamond gem pennant in it. That is the light and the key. And I bought this at Powerhouse Women. I have this so that I can remember, my interaction with you, what I felt that day, being able to engage and being able to meet all these incredible women, being able to hug you, all the other women that we met. It is something that it's not just like I'm buying a necklace or I'm getting a set of earrings or I'm doing any of this stuff. You are truly buying a feeling. And when people say they buy products or services from people, not companies, it's a real thing. That's why brand recognition is so important and reputation is so important, because nobody wants to buy something from a not very nice person. Someone wants to have that great feeling in their lives. And I love what you bring with your jewelry lines and the designs that you come up with that. What are some of your most popular jewelry designs that you have, and what inspired those?
Oh, I love that. Thank you. It's everything I pray for, everything you said. And the necklace that you wear, I love it to remind, like, you are the light. All you need to do is consistently unlock it. Because sometimes our light gets a little cloudy. The world weighs in. Somebody tries us. The business gets hard. Some service you did, someone didn't like, and the light starts to flicker. And they're like, no, I am the light. All I have to do is choose to continuously be it. And that's my mission. And when we keep choosing to be the light, we move ourselves further, but we also bring people along with us. My favorite, most popular pieces are these limitless hoops that I'm wearing. Oh, my Lord. Like, these are my babies. Can we give them homage? Because they were in Oprah's Favorite Thing magazine. Like, as soon as I created them, people immediately start wearing them on QVC. And it's like a no-brainer. And I think because, one, I think the shape is very delicate. But what's beautiful is the concept of I love a hoop. And because hoops are trendy, right? It's a thing. But don't you love a hoop? It's something about a hoop, a shape of a hoop. But when I start thinking about a hoop, I was like, oh, wow, a hoop is limitless. Like, the circle thing is continuous. And all you have to do is keep shining to your greatness. There's nothing that can stop you but you. Only you. Your friend can't stop you. A no can't stop you. No hardship can stop you. Not even losing a loved one can stop you. Only you can stop you. So that means our life is fully limitless, and we choose to take that power. My other top sellers are It's Possible hoops. They're sleek kind of hoop designs, but on one side is engraved It's Possible. And I only did it on the one side because sometimes you want to whisper to yourself it's possible. You need to hear it and see it. And then sometimes you want to wear them outside to the world and be that beacon of light to show others that it's possible. My bracelets are power too. The joy, love, peace, they're different words of believe. And I decided, when I realized, like, why do I keep radiating light? And like, how can I allow you to take that home with you as a reminder? I was like, oh, I always check into these specific emotions and I ground in them and I check myself to make sure, am I being love? Am I receiving love? Am I acting in love? And if I check in, we're on flow. If I can't check the box, then I need to reroute and say, well, how can I be more love? And that's how you keep your energy. And I'm just coming out with this new bracelet, which I'm excited. It's a Worthy bracelet. Woo! So good. Can't wait. It's excited.
Oh, you know what? I think that is a word that so many women really need to say to themselves more every day. Us included. It is really something that a lot of times, We can have really amazing things going for us, and somehow you self-sabotage this stuff. And we all have done it before. You have something great going, and then you think, I'm not worthy of this. And subconsciously, you just mess the whole thing up. I think if we really start talking more to ourselves and to our kids about being worthy to do things, there isn't like somebody that's coming around. I know Lindsay Schwartz talks about this so many times. She's like, there's not a worthiness fairy that's going to be like, you're worthy, come along with me. Like the anointed come along with me person, like anoint your damn self. Quit waiting for somebody. Again, we go back to that, to validate your dreams, to allow you to take the first step, to do all of these things, because that's what I wanted more than anything out of your story today, Lia, to really resonate with people, that even in the darkest times, you say you were born in darkness. You have the most beautiful light. And that is something that so many people can take out of your story, because you don't have to be a product of your circumstance. Just like the phrase that your mom tells you too, like you make the choice. You have a choice to decide whether you stay in the shits or you rise up and become the shit, like it is really your choice.
And you know what? Either way is hard. Let's be honest. Like being in the mess is hard. Even though it's comfortable, it's still hard. Or going after your choice is hard. So I'd rather choose the option that could possibly move me out of this thing or move me towards what my inner light is telling me to be. And, my other thing is, what's really important is then having it deeper than you. So whatever you are, whatever your service is, whatever you are putting out in the world, it's bigger than your story. And it's how can it be our story? And then how can my story support someone else? And I decided, my father was from Africa and he wasn't the best father, but we're going to say he wasn't. He was raised in the village of Africa. He was removed from his family super young from an evangelist group who was testing kids. The smartest kids got to be removed from their family and get an education. Sounds great, but also traumatic for a child to be removed from their family to get this thing called education where no one in your family is. So, that was his struggle. So I'm in the homeless shelter, and the very few times that he would pop up and come around, he would tell me that my trauma or what I was in was nothing compared to what Africa was like. Nothing compared to what living and being born in the village. Now, there's different. If you were born in the city of Africa, whole different lifestyle. But born in the village of Africa, where there's very limited opportunities, limited jobs, very limited education, because you got to pay for education. That's where poverty is. And I remember when I was little being like, what? There's something worse than this? One day I'm going to help. And I knew it. So 2 years ago, I finally got myself to Africa. And I did get to see the village of Africa. And he was right. It's nothing compared to what I experienced, not discrediting my hardships by any means, but it's a total different poverty standpoint and lack when you're in the village, because there's not even work around where you could move yourself up the ladder. And so I said, I got to do something about this. I got to use my platform as a way to be a blessing. And so I realized that there was a beautiful natural trades thing of beadwork in Africa. It's just a cultural thing. And so I was like, how do we meet someone where they are and what they enjoy doing to help give them income? So I hand sketched bags. Then I work with women in the villages of Africa to bring them income and employment opportunities. They hand bead each bag. They're so pretty. And these bags become this beautiful blessing. And they're beautiful to us. I was in the dentist today and the lady in the bathroom stopped me and we had a whole conversation. They're beautiful bags, but the beauty of it is they are a blessing of income and opportunity for someone. And I made a promise to them. I said, I'm going to keep bringing back orders. And as the promise came out of my mouth, I'm like, how you going to promise that? You don't even know. But I'm like, if you say it, it's got to be true. And so I'd love people to join me on supporting that mission, ordering the bags, but have a mission bigger than you within your creation. Because when it gets hard, we talked about hardships. Orders don't come. I can sometimes not get an order in a whole month, right? That's hard. What is going to make you keep showing up? It's the promise that you made to someone else. It's the promise that you want to be for someone else. And that'll make you get over obstacles and find other ways to be greater.
Absolutely. It has to be bigger than you, because when you stumble believing, you've got that other thing that you can lean on of, I have to do this because someone is counting on me. Yep. And that's something that I know a lot of the entrepreneurial moms that listen to this podcast, we talk a lot on here about how people watch you. And just like your friend's mom, she may not have even known what a dynamic change she was making inside of your brain to allow you to become the woman that you are today. But you were watching her. She wasn't telling you things. You were watching her. I want to be an example of telling my kids, I am going to pursue this dream of mine and I'm going to keep doing it. And I want you to watch me keep doing it. And even though they're like the ones that they're like your broke best friends, that aren't paying you to do anything, but they're just there for all the snacks. They're watching you. They're watching everything. And I want to be a positive influence of action, not just a positive influence of words. Because yes, words are powerful, but nothing is more powerful than watching somebody do something. Because if you watch it, it can be done. People talk about stuff all the time. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. But when you watch someone do it, you're like, oh shit, well, if they can do it, then so can I. Why can't I do it? So I applaud you so much for being that light for so many people. There's so many people watching you, Lia, that you don't even know about too, that you bring lightness to them and belief to them and help them understand that they're worthy and that they should chase their big goals too. So you are carrying that forward. Maybe you don't even realize it from what you learned from even your friend's mom or your own mother yourself. And so I think that is a really cool thing to stop and really compliment you on, because you are such a humble woman, but you are helping so many people, myself included.
Oh, you're going to make me cry. I'm so grateful. I do agree. I think it's so good just to be action. My aunt always used to say, I learned believe was an action word because my aunt used to tell me that love is an action word. And I love this concept of just be the things. Talking is beautiful. Like I love these conversations because they will then marry the action and then you have this combination. But I think my greatest teacher is exactly what you're saying. People that I just was blessed to watch. And so maybe the gift that you give someone is just saying, come along with me. If you're looking to a way to make an impact, because I don't think you need to make an impact. I don't think you need to impact thousands of people. I don't even think you need to impact hundreds. I don't even think you need to impact 10 people. An impact happens when you can impact one life, because one life changes an entire generation of people.
Yes, I was just thinking of that when you said that. You want to break a generational curse, impact one person in that family. It's crazy. I saw Ed Milet speak and he was talking about this, and he talks about the chosen one. And he said, you could be, why aren't you the chosen one? It is truly just a choice that I am the one that is going to break this shit, and I'm going to make it better than what everybody else has had to deal with. I grew up in same thing, I grew up in an environment where it was, must be nice. It was a poorer income in Wyoming. It was like everybody just barely got by. And that was like, a badge of honor that you barely got by with things. And I was like, I don't want to live here. I don't want to just barely get by. And so when I left my family too. I haven't had a relationship with them. And that was the cost of me getting out of that mentality of, must be nice. I'm like, hell yeah, it's nice because I'm working for it. And I was brave enough to make the change to go do those things. So my kids never understand what living like that felt like. And it is one of those things where it is truly just a choice, just like you made the choice. I'm not going to live in this anymore. How can I change my circumstance? And it's one question. How can I get better grades? It's one question. How can I get out of here? I'm going to get a job somewhere else. It is just a choice. And sometimes those choices cost you what is familiar and cost you what is comfortable, but you are never growing as long as you are comfortable. And that is something that I think paralyzes a lot of people, is that fear of being uncomfortable or fear of unknown, where if I stay here, at least I know what it's going to be, even if it's crap.
And fear of being the outlier. Oh, let's stay there. I know because we like the rough stuff, because we always talk about the pretty stuff, but the rough stuff is, yes, it's one choice. Yes, it's one question. But the ramifications of one choice and one question can cost a lot. And so because everything has a cost, right? What are you willing to pay for your one choice and your one cause? And you've got to weigh it out. Sometimes you have to become the outlier. Sometimes you have to be the only person on the island. Everyone's not going to join and rally you up. It may cost you family. It may cost you friends. But it's being in a different place, in a different space, and going towards what you know to be true for you more powerful than staying stagnant with ones in a collective group. That's your decision that you want to decide. And if it is more powerful, then go to the choice and keep trying. And sometimes you'll get a loss, but every loss that you get, there's a gain to come. I lost so many people in my life just by passing away. And, I could not be as bright, but I choose, it's how you look at things. I choose to look at every loss as a deposit in my soul to be able to shine their light bright. So even if you lost a friend, and not in passing, but they're not in alignment with you anymore, how about you embody that loss as growth? How about you embody that loss as you are going to be something greater, and then maybe one day they'll see you and be inspired by you.
Yep. I think that is what perpetuates a lot of people to continue, is they hope that they will soon be someone that makes a positive impact on those people that they have had to leave behind. For me, that's a big inspiration of stuff. Maybe they'll hear something. Maybe there's something that they can better understand the reason why. Or maybe not too. But how many people would I not be helping had I chose to stay there and be in that? And the people that I know I'm impacting have replaced that need for that, what used to be comfortable. You know what I mean? Like that, when you can see that you're making an impact on people, it is one of the most beautiful, heartwarming things ever. I think obviously that's why a lot of people provide service. We're all in the service industry. The service industry is a heart industry, because you cannot provide a good service and not be a decent person. Because we know people that give out services that are sucky people, and then we don't go back to them, and then we find someone else. But a service business really is a giving business. It really is like those people with that heart space that want to help other people. And I think that is very much a lot of the audience of Ladies Kicking Ass and how they can resonate with this, because for you to help this set of people, you might have to stop enabling or helping this one.
You definitely do. And the funny part is, I believe that you don't need to see it, but you make impact on all of the people that you left. You won't see it, and you shouldn't look for it, but you know it to be true, and that's so beautiful. I was thinking of service. Oh, I love the service industry. It has taught me everything. I wouldn't be sitting with you without service. It just taught me it's a caring business. That's what you were saying. Like, you really have to care for people and really be in tune in the needs of others to be able to provide a really good service And in itself, that's just an impact in the world.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. So, Lia, what is something big that you're looking forward to? What's coming up? You got any awesome new things happening? What can we expect from you?
Yes, I'm always on the rise of dreaming. I love dreaming big. What's coming out is definitely the Ghana handbags from Africa. The new launch collection will be here in a month or so. So that is super exciting. They're so cute. I have a hard time not buying them all for myself. And then
I can't wait to see them.
I can't wait for you to see them. And I order in small batches until we grow and grow. And I know one day we will grow. So just honing and learning that. My cozy collection, I decided, I was like, jewelry, I want to expand because I wanted to bring, yes, I love you wearing it. And this needs to go with you everywhere throughout the day. But sometimes when you're home, your home environment, to me, is one of the sanctuaries of where everything is rooted out of. Like if light's not in your home, then how do you go out in the world to be light? It doesn't translate. So I'm like, how do I bring light in the world? And so I created a cozy collection, and it's just a compilation of like socks that you wear that are so snuggly, and they say always smile. Oh my God, children love these so much. Just to bring light, blankets that you wrap up it's like a warm hug of light. And then my friend lost her pet, and I started to realize, like, wow, the impact that pets have in people's lives is truly light. And it is major. It's unconditional, and you can't even describe it. And so out of homage of that, I wanted to bring a light piece in the form of like a pet bed that could bring light to their pet's life. And then I realized, here's the cool part. I'm like, I just want to bring a fun, snuggly, comfy yellow pet bed. And then I realized that scientifically, pets see two colors, and yellow is one of them. So when they actually see it, they recognize the yellow, and it's comfort to them and it's acknowledgement. So they snuggle up on it even more. I was like, oh, I love when science meets dreams. So they're my dreams. My big dream, I love to share big dreams. Big dream, put it out there so people can pray with me, is allowing Valencia Key to grow so that I can one day build a trade school that license underserved, inner city, impoverished hearts with a licensed trade so that they can never go hungry again. I have a master's degree, and honestly, I didn't actually start to be able to pay my bills until I got a cosmetology license. Facts. These hands, this service thing is exactly what you're saying. And I think building a trade school that we can teach people to provide a service, you can never go hungry. There's always a need of a service, and we can always provide it on whatever level we see fit. And that was my blessing. And I want to give that blessing to others. So that's the big dream.
I love that so much. That is exactly what my daughter wants to do, is to go to cosmetology school. So we actually went and met with her high school counselor yesterday, and she's like, I'm going to go to cosmetology school. And they have a program in Arizona where they can go to, it's called EVIT. So they can actually be almost done with cosmetology school before they get out of high school. So they get high school credits for it as juniors and seniors, because her big game plan, she wants to own her own salon. She already has like a little sugar scrub business that she goes and sells and vendors for on the weekend. And I'm like, you build your own hair care stuff off of this. You just keep building your line out while you're in school. You get that cosmetology license. And myself and my best friend have already pledged to be her first investors to help her start a salon. And we're so excited about this. But when we said this to the counselor yesterday, she's like, oh, so you have no aspirations to go to a university? And I was like, hold on. I'm like, we're a very entrepreneurial family. Around here, we teach our kids how to run a business because we actually want them to have a job and a life without being strapped with student loan bills for the rest of their lives. So this is what she wants to do. And service is a very important part of our industry, and we need more of them. We need more people that will look at the trades industries as a valuable job set or a career path, instead of thinking that it's a second-rate citizen. I screwed up. I didn't go to university, so now I have to do this. There's so much money in that. It's insane. My pump truck drivers in my septic company make just under 6 figures, and they're 23 years old, and they finished high school. And this is something that if you enjoy getting your hands dirty, you love to give a service, you love to do good things, it's limitless. I was always taught, learn a skill, you will never go hungry because someone will always employ you for that.
I don't care what the economy, I am going to create this skills trade school. You will never go hungry. The economy can crash. Someone's going to need your service. Even if it's a barter system, if money goes out the window, right? And people are bartering for things and you have a service, you barter your service to eat. Like you will never deprive if you have a service. And it is my dream and my plan for this business, Valencia Key, to get big enough to fund this trade school that's going to change the lives and change the, like you said, the perspective of like, I'm not good enough for a trade school. A trade school is amazing. And that's how you actually build wealth and build your own freedom. Let's talk about that. You got freedom inside of your skill too.
Yes. Well, I can't wait for you to build that school so I can build a Ladies Kicking Ass scholarship to send some people to that school. How about that?
Oh my God. We just spoke it. Already done. Everyone listening, we've claimed it already.
Yep. We're going to start saving up for that right now because that is like one of my biggest dreams is to be able to provide scholarships for people that want to do that, want to go into the trades. Like Mike Rowe that does the show Dirty Jobs. You probably know who that is. He was on Dave Ramsey's podcast and they were talking about how even his scholarship program, his foundation that he has awards scholarships to people that want to pursue trades. Because it is so needed right now. Like so many people will call us and be like, hey, I need your service. I can't get to you for like 2.5 weeks. I've also had the worst time ever trying to employ people because people don't want to work in the trades anymore. It's insane. But there's not a shortage of houses out there that need these plumbing services. And so now people are getting mad because they can't get a plumber for 3 weeks and somehow it's my fault, but there's nobody that wants to work in the industry. There is so much money to be made in this. It's absolutely insane. I actually encourage my children to take that route instead of the gotta go to college thing because I know how much opportunity there is in it. And it's absolutely insane. People are paying insane amounts of money for people to come and work at these trades industries. And that's why everything, is just going through the roof. There's so much opportunity. You can be your own boss and make whatever you want to and have that freedom, have that ability to manage your time and live the life that you want to live. I'm so behind this. I'm so excited. I'm going to keep working with you because we got stuff to do.
That's what I'm thinking. I celebrate your daughter because she's going to have that salon and it's going to be, honestly, she's going to have a product line and it's going to be on what we can even imagine for her. Like, I love that the counselor said, you don't have aspirations because that's fuel for my fire. Now let's show them what we're really going to do. Like, oh, I can't wait for like the abundance to flow from that. And we tell that story about the counselor. And then we have to stay connected because your passion for trade and service is so fiery like I am that I know whenever this thing starts to align, we got to tell more people about it.
Yes. I want more women to be excited about this too, because I feel like there's a lot of men in the trades, but we have to think about all of these women that can be in the trades, because as a woman owner, I'm the only woman owner of a septic company in the state of Arizona. I have the ability, one, because some man somewhere decided I was a minority. So I get contracts like nobody's business. Thank you, sir. That's a beautiful thing that women need to understand about starting this. But when women run organizations, I have other women that own plumbing companies that are here in the Phoenix area and beautiful things. It is just ran differently. There is a heartfelt part of this. There's a beautiful love culture. It is like, it's a group of family that's there. It's not some old guy that's just pointing his finger at you and saying, go do this, or I pay you because I bought you a shovel. There's snacks, there's, parties, there's recognition of who you are as a human and that you have a family. And then we ask you how your daughter's dance class went. And it's just a different environment. And if we can get more women involved, it becomes a more beautiful place to work. And that's what people want. They want to come somewhere where they matter. They want to be a part of building something. They don't want to be a number anymore. And when we get women in that own these businesses, everything changes. Everything changes.
Everything changes. Last story. My friend Grace works in engines and parts, and she's a captain, a boat captain, but she works in engines and parts. And just today, she was saying she's in a male-dominated industry, only woman. There's a fire truck had an engine problem. They tell her the problem. She says, oh, wait, they shipped you that and it was wrong? Well, let's check the entire batch because I don't want to reorder it and you get the wrong one. She goes to her supervisor, male-dominated supervisor. Male-dominated supervisor doesn't care about the possibility of a challenge. They're like, no, just send them another one. Who cares about the batch? That extra care. And she's like, as a woman, like I have that heart to care beyond this one issue. I want to care about the entire issue. And it's just so interesting, the extra dynamics that happen when you have women in these service-based industries. I love your heart. I can see kind of great things for us together and like spreading this word real big.
Yes, I agree. I agree so much. Thank you so much for your time. I have kept you way longer than I said I was going to. We knew that. We both proclaimed to be chatties, and I knew we would have so much to talk about. But in closing on the podcast, I always ask everyone this question because it is the inspiration for my new book that I am writing. And what I want to know from you, Lia, is what does the phrase ladies kicking ass mean to you?
The phrase ladies kicking ass is deciding truly who you are and not taking no to become it. Like stepping over hurdles, jumping over obstacles, leaving people and things behind, climbing trees or whatever, getting dirty, crying, getting back up, breaking down, and then rising to everything that you were destined to be. Whatever that is. I put no label of success on it, but whatever it is, even if it's getting out of abusive relationship, that's a lady kicking ass. Like, that's amazing.
Yes. Oh, so beautiful. Well, I am so thankful to have connected with you, to have been able to be in the same room with you in this beautiful podcast for your time. I can't thank you enough. You are a beautiful human being, and I am better because I know you.
Oh, same here. Thank you for your love. Thank you for connecting with my heart. Everyone that is listening, I love you, and thank you for being just a part of our journey.
Thanks for being part of the Ladies Kickin' Ass community. Cheers to all you badass women out there. Keep rocking your power, igniting your fire, and making waves in the service industry. If you loved today's episode, please do me a quick favor. Take a screenshot, post it, and tag us at Ladies Kickin' Ass. Be sure to include the link to your favorite episode. Your support in spreading the word means the world to us as we aim to empower even more women. Hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for more kick-ass episodes. And don't forget, a 5-star review is the ultimate high five. Connect with us on social media. All the links are in the show notes. Thank you for being part of our tribe. Now go kick some serious ass, lady. Hey there, ladies. Want to supercharge your personal growth journey with insights from the best in the business? I've got a treat for you. I have been raving throughout many of these podcasts about this incredible self-development app called Growth Day. Imagine learning from industry powerhouses like Mel Robbins, Ed Milet, my girl Lori Harder, Brendan Burchard, Mel Abraham, Lisa Bilyeu. Oh my gosh, there's so many more. And guess what? Every Wednesday, they teach live that you can watch them and interact with them. through this app. It's so incredibly cool. Beyond their wisdom and live coaching sessions, there is another incredible feature that I'm obsessed with, though: the journal section. I use it every single day, whether it's either to brain dump, reflect on my feelings, remember things for my business, or dive deep with their brilliant journal prompts. I'm never at a loss for words when I sit down to journal. How freaking amazing is that? And because you're part of our podcast family, there's a special treat awaiting you. Click the link in the show notes below to check it all out. Embark on an incredible journey with Growth Day. Remember, every new day is an opportunity to grow, reflect, and evolve. And that is what we do as ladies who are kicking ass.